everyone. Welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there. Follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Listen, folks, Sunday, we're going to be sitting down watching the Jets game against the Cowboys. Join your boy. Directly after that, we'll have a live radio show. We're going to be talking about everything that we saw. Call in. I take live callers. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. So with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about Aaron Rodgers. Oh, yes. Aaron Rodgers has recently went on the Pat McAfee show, and he had a couple things to say, okay? And we're going to be discussing it because I'm telling you, there were some interesting things, interesting tidbits that he put out there that has a lot of Jets fans, up in arms and, excited about possibilities, okay? And we're going to discuss that. Now, as I said, Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee show Friday, speaking with him about, of course, the situation with his Achilles and what happened and all those things. And he started off talking about how, how he tore his Achilles against the Buffalo Bills. And he talked about how Monday was just a spectacular day all the way up into the game, right? Had a great day. He comes out against the Bills, during the opening introduction. He runs out with the flag, and it's just electric. And I don't know if I got people that watch me that are not Jets fans, but let me tell you something. Anybody that was watching that game, that saw him run out there with MetLife looking the way it looked, it was just beautiful. And then him coming out with the flag, it was just different. It was so different. It felt different. It was amazing to watch, okay? And he talked about how, he goes into the game, they start playing, and then, boom, tears his Achilles, and it went from being such an electric feel moment, such a feel-good moment, to one of the toughest 24 hours that he's had in his entire life. He talked about going through the myriad of emotions. First he was, upset, of course. He was down. There was some dark moments, and then it was anger. Him, and then questioning, why did this happen? Why is this happening to me? And then he kind of, had to regroup and, pull his head together. Now, of course, he's had the surgery. He's went to LA, had the surgery in LA with the Achilles. And so he was speaking to Pat McAfee from his bed, at the place that he was healing up at. And of course, they started to ask him about his rehab process and how he was going to be able to come back from this Achilles injury. And it was very interesting what he started to say, because the way that he was speaking was almost like he was leaving the door open to possibly returning with the Jets. And I want you folks to hear what he had to say about the people that had doubts and were giving him timetables and all these things. I want you folks to hear the quote directly from him, and I want you to hear the audio. So I'm going to let you folks hear this about his response to the doubters that were giving him timetables and all those things. Here's the audio.
Before even an MRI, I knew what happened. I knew I'd torn my Achilles, and I had popped my calf, a few times, especially the soleus, and this was not that sensation. So I knew right away this was not a good situation. So, and I've known about this rehab. I've had friends who've done it, and fellow competitors that I know who've done it, come back from it. But I think what I'd like to say is, give me the doubts.
Yes.
Give me the doubts. Give me the timetables. Give me all the things that you think can, should, or will happen, because all I need is that one little extra % of inspiration. That's all I need. So give me your timetable. Give me your doubts. Give me your prognostications. and then watch what I do.
Now, as you guys just heard, right? He starts to go down this road where he's leaving the door open to possibly return with the New York Jets this season. Okay? Which is crazy, right? Because as we, pretty much all know, an Achilles tear, especially Achilles injuries, people have ruptured their Achilles, all kind of stuff, generally is a season-ending injury, okay, for most people. But he's, possibly talking about returning. And then when pressed by, the Pat McAfee show, the other guys that are there as well, when asked even further about the situation, and they said, hey, are you possibly, talk about returning? He had something else to say, and I want you folks to hear that as well. Here's the audio.
I want to know exactly, when did you have an idea that it was actually, this was a serious thing? I think I told you, hey, when you sat back down, I know people don't just sit down on the field with like a sprained ankle. Did you know at that exact moment that, hey, this is serious, it's probably my Achilles? And also, when you talk about your timetable coming back, what are you trying to say? You're trying to be the fastest guy ever to come back from an Achilles injury?
Hell yeah.
I stood up and put weight on my foot and felt like I had drop foot.
You know right
So,
there?
yeah, I knew right there. I knew that it was about 95% sure, unless there was some sort of lower soleus rip. But I was pretty confident that it was Achilles. And yeah, I mean, I think there's been some guys with some interesting timetables on Achilles returns, but we'll see what happens. It's just there's a process. There's certain markers we got to hit.
You trying to say you're coming back this season?
Yeah, what's happening? Are you coming back for the playoffs this year?
I'm not gonna make any of those statements. I don't feel like that's fair to myself. I'm just.
Is it a possibility?
I think, as Kevin Garnett said, anything's possible.
Wow. Okay? Wow. Wow. All right? Now listen here. Listen here. This has got a lot of Jets fans up in arms. Okay? Anything is possible. Okay? Kevin Garnett did say that. Kevin G did say that. Okay? Anything is possible. But clearly he is leaving the door open to possibly return with the New York Jets at some point this season. I would guess later on in the season, probably week 16, week 17, whatever, right? Real late in the season. Maybe if the Jets, again, make the playoffs, which we're all thinking the Jets will still be able to do, maybe he rejoins the team, at that point, right? Now, realistically, as a fan, I'm sitting back and I'm thinking, there's got to be something to this, right? Now, could he return? Maybe, possibly, right? But that would depend on the severity of the tear, okay? That would depend on the severity of the tear. Now, he quickly went and got surgery. The only people that would know about the severity of the tear is Aaron Rodgers and his doctor. That's it. All right? If it's slightly torn, not too bad, maybe there's a possibility. Okay? Maybe. But if it's, was as bad as it looked on TV, especially the close-ups that they did, as we saw floating around social media, where it looked like that thing just completely snapped, okay, and gone, then I'm guessing not, right? But here's the deal. I do not want Aaron Rodgers rushing himself back or doing too much to put himself in a position to possibly re-injure that Achilles, okay? Listen, I want Aaron Rodgers as the starting quarterback of the New York Jets. You will not, there's no one that wants to see him in a Jets jersey on the field playing for the Jets more than me, okay? I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan, as most people know. I watched him at Cal. I think he was phenomenal. When he was in Green Bay, I definitely kept an eye on the guy. He's been great. And when he came here, over the moon about Aaron Rodgers being a New York Jet. Love it. Love it, okay? As a Jets fan, I love it. But what I don't want him to do is put himself in a situation to go out there as a 39-year-old man and put himself in a situation to possibly re-injure that and be done for the rest of next season. That's what I do not want to see happen. I do not want to see that happen. I don't want it. I don't want that to happen. And I know that there are Jets fans. I've gone back and forth and had discussions where people say, well, Joe, listen, Cam Akers was able to do it. Cam Akers was 22 when that happened. He was 22 when he injured his Achilles and was able to come. That is a world different from a 39-year-old man trying to come back from that injury. It's different. Keep in mind, we have, some years left here with Aaron Rodgers. At least I think 2 more years after this one that he'll stay here and be a Jet. That's been talked about. Okay? So we have more time. A lot of the guys that we have here on this team currently are going to return. And even some of the guys that we're going to lose, that's fine. We can attract free agents that are going to want to come here to play with Aaron Rodgers. Okay, that's a fact. We already had guys that came here. Alan Czar came here because of Aaron Rodgers. There's a host of other guys that would be willing to come to the New York Jets because Aaron Rodgers is here. So I'm not dreading anyone that we may move away from. Guys like Dwayne Brown, he can go. All right, we'll get somebody else. We also got draft capital as well. So I do not want him to rush himself back. But I do want y'all to comment down below and let me know what y'all think about that. I do not want him to push himself into a situation to possibly come back. And honestly, I don't think it's realistic. So I'm keeping my eyes on it just like y'all. Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about this situation? What are your thoughts about the possibilities of Aaron Rodgers coming back this season? Do you think it's realistic? Are you concerned that he may put himself in a position to, possibly injure that? Is that a concern of y'all? Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. You folks have a good one. Peace.